Thank you very much, Jakob. Good morning, everybody. It's very happy to have all of you with us. Many of you, not for the first time. I recognize a lot of faces that I think I'm seeing for the third time, actually, here, as we have embarked on a journey to promote dialogue around the issue of product carbon footprinting. And we are about to have 2 days of very intense and interesting, hopefully helpful presentations on the issue of carbon footprinting and related issues concerning greenhouse gas management in the value chain, concerning communication to consumers, and perspectives from different initiatives and stakeholders. And I'm repeating this, but I think it's very important to do so. I really want to encourage you to make use of the people that are here in the room, not just the speakers up here, which of course you are more openly addressing, but also the participants in the room. We have a lot of experts, very knowledgeable experts and people on the issue of carbon footprinting in the room, like in every row that I can point here. We cannot bring everybody up on stage, and each time we are faced to making a selection of what we find most appropriate for stimulating the kinds of discussions that will help us move forward. And as we cannot bring everybody up on stage, I encourage you to make good use in the personal communication to each and every one. And then the idea of the forum, as we have originally perceived, will be best fulfilled. As mentioned, we've been working on the issue of product carbon footprinting and related issues for more than a year. I think, like some of us, for 3 years or so, when it was kind of emerged on the stage, on the international stage. The PCF World Forum, and more specifically the first PCF World Summit, was launched 1 year ago. So 1 year ago we had the first summit, and today we have the third one, which is, I think, one indicator of the kind of dynamics the whole issue is going through, that it makes a lot of sense to regularly look at what has happened around the world, to kind of take a step back and together look at what has happened, to come to new assessments and to see, okay, what is the way forward. And the discussion has been, at the first summit, very much around what is happening around the world, to get a grip on the developments that we are seeing. We had the feeling that a lot is happening, a lot of different individual initiatives are active, and we, of course, spoke to many of them individually, but we kind of had the feeling, okay, there's some element missing in linking these up. So the first summit had very much at focus to kind of put on stage what was happening out there. And there a crucial question was addressed, which is coming up again and again, and that is a crucial demand is we need uniform underlying methodologies for all the work that is needed in terms of reducing greenhouse gas emissions. So this was a very particular demand that was raised, and we took that then up more specifically at the second PCF World Summit in September, saying, okay, where is harmonization at? Where is it heading? And what is everyone doing to really ensure that? With so many initiatives working on that, that of course is an important question. I think, the first title was International Approaches to Product Carbon Footprint Carbon Labeling. Second summit, On the Road to Harmonization. And we came to the realization that, and this was also just brought up from one of the previous speakers, that we also have to talk about what is really done on the ground. So how are these schemes used and implemented, and what is needed in terms of moving businesses and others forward to really taking the crucial steps that we all want to see. And the summit that we have just starting altogether now is meant to partly address that question. So what we have done is to take a bit, and you don't really need to. Oh, there. This is the fonts are messed up. So I will just explain. What we've done is said, okay, we'll not focus as much on standardization as at the first summits with a lot of detailed information on greenhouse gas protocol, on ISO work, also past 2050 and others. But to say we'll have like a short introduction on that, but rather look at a number of activities that are implemented. But we have to find a good mixture with the initiatives that are still emerging, and just kind of ignore the mess up there that happened with the computer. But what we found is that we have some initiatives that we should cover where a lot is happening. And one, of course, is France, which could not be at the summit in September. So there is a need out there to learn more and understand more what is happening in France. We always have the prominent example of Japan. I mean, they have been at all of the previous summits, but it is one of the reasons is because a lot is happening there. So we have the feeling every 2 months we should actually be talking also about what is happening in Japan, and we have the feeling it makes a lot of sense to bring this to the stage. We are very happy to have representatives from Korea here with us that will inform for the first time about developments in their country. We planned to have representatives from Thailand here. Unfortunately, as you may have heard, they have protests going on as sometimes. So they, for safety reasons, they decided to not fly internationally the last days, and so they kind of instructed me to present some of the background on them. Also, the Carbon Trust is with us again, and as you know, they have influenced a lot of the thinking and developments in carbon footprinting, so it does make a lot of sense to also stage them. And the Climate Bonus Project from Finland, which is another initiative that is bringing together different people, is also here for the first time. And this is just a small fraction of what we will be seeing today and tomorrow, because we have a lot of other actors that are engaged in that. These are rather the more broader initiatives bringing together different stakeholders, a lot of companies, but we have a focus also on like very practical, sector-oriented approaches, either like more science-based or like from a methodological point of view, but also from a company point of view with representatives from different sectors here, to shed more light on what are some of their issues and concerns and not just always talk about like on a very general level. So this is our anticipation, and also encourage all of the speakers to specifically take into account the realities of some of the sectors. And I think we will be talking also a lot about product category rules and issues, which of course address specifically sector issues. So what I would like to do very quickly is to give you a short update, very short really, on some of the developments that are not here on stage during the 2 days, but just that we have in mind what has happened in some other parts of the world. And I want to put a particular focus on Thailand for the one hand, because they were planned to be here and have a presentation, so I will speak in a bit more detail about them. And also another initiative that we felt should have been here is the one from Sweden, which is also advancing quite a bit. And so I will also spend a couple of minutes on what is happening in Sweden and give a quick update on some of the others, but the previous speakers have already mentioned some of that, so I will shorten it where it is. So first on standardization, Matthew mentioned a lot of that. The road testing is currently going on, so this is meaning road testing of the draft standards that have been published in November, have also been discussed in different stakeholder workshops, and are out there to kind of test and comment upon. And the drafts are, final publication. They are sticking still to the timeline, is planned for December 2010. And I'm sorry, there seems to be one form missing here installed, so maybe we can take care of that later. But December 2010 is still the target, and I think ambitious, but like with the road testing now going on, and the comments fed back in over the middle and third quarter of the year, this seems to be also feasible. 2 standards: product standard and scope 3 standard, as Matthew mentioned. Then we have as the second major standardization process, the ISO 14067 carbon footprint of products, and several working drafts had been circulated within ISO and commented upon, and the draft has now at the meeting in Tokyo, and I think what I've heard, I have to really also congratulate Japan for organizing that once more. It must have been a very well-organized meeting. So a lot of advancement was made there in moving the current document to committee draft status, which in fact means that it is more rigid in some sense. It's more closer to finalization, with less opportunity to, or less opportunity is maybe the wrong word, but more formal processes for making changes to the core document. So what we are seeing there now is a snapshot of what we can expect to eventually being published. Of course, there will be still comments fed in, but the core work has been completed. It's still a 2-part document, one on quantification, one on communication. And now as the work proceeds, there is some consideration also on maybe merging that back together into one standard, but this is still not decided. But one important aspect is, or information is, that the timeline has been adapted a bit to the decisions made so far, and what we can expect, like the final publication of the international standard, to happen in the year 2012. The exact date still depends on some decisions, like when will the next level of working draft be reached, the draft international standard, but sometime between March and September 2012, maybe earlier, if some decisions are made fast. As mentioned, 2 parts. The main framework is set, and I don't want to go into technical details, but I think we are having an impression of where it's getting, and that really something consistent is coming out. They are, like, when you sometimes see some of the working drafts, of course there's still a lot of conflicting issues, but these seem to be now closer to resolution. And then, just to mention, I don't have a slide for that, the PAS 2050, which is the publicly available specification in the UK, not a formal standard, will be revised by the end of this year, latest beginning of next year, to kind of accommodate what is happening in the Greenhouse Gas Protocol Initiative and the ISO work, to bring these closer together, because we still have to tackle some of the issues where they may be contradictory. So now I would like to move on to Sweden and Thailand with some background information, and then a quick update to finish in time. In Sweden, the initiative there is a bit different, or the one that I'm not now talking about than what we're seeing in many of the other countries, and I think that's worth mentioning. That the two organizations there, CRAF and Svensk Sigil, I hope I pronounced it correctly, have, rather than talking about carbon footprinting as many of us are doing, have embarked on an endeavor to set criteria for certain products and processes. And coming with CRAF from an organic labeling or organic certification standpoint, Svensk Sigil as a quality seal, they've been discussing setting or how to set criteria based on life cycle assessments in general, but like from an understanding what really makes improvements in products, or what are good low carbon products in different areas, and how can these standards be met. And just to give an example, they have done this for production of food in greenhouses, where they said, okay, a product that is going to bear like either one of the seals later on will have to reach certain minimum criteria, for example, insulation requirements in greenhouses, or a certain fraction of renewable energy, or some also management plans. And like this, they have covered a variety of different production methods and also processing. The ones in bold here are the ones where they have completed standards. And the first products that will be in the market somehow are expected for May with an add-on climate kind of certification with Svensk Sigil. And CRAF is integrating these standards in the future organic label. So all products that are bearing in future want to bear the CRAF organic label beyond the EU organic harmonization, that organic labeling harmonization that is taking place, have to fulfill criteria in other areas as well. One is climate change, but also further in animal welfare and others. So it's like an integration of climate change issues in the existing organic label, or as an add-on in the quality seal. Before going on to Thailand, a quick update on the Klima Top initiative that has also been presented at the two previous summits. And just to mention, the number of companies has been extended quite significantly to what we have seen before. So here are some examples of the companies that the Klima Top Foundation is now working with significant number of further products assessed, and for 48 products labeling is with the Klima Top labels taking place. I think we also see a lot of these in the product exhibition, and a lot more products have been assessed, and decision has taken not to label or maybe do it later on to various reasons. And Klima Top is also active now actively thinking about how to work with other initiatives across Europe to find a common understanding of some of the work, so that not conflicting work is done. And I encourage you to also approach the people from Klima Top that are here. Maybe you can raise your hand. That we have, back there, Mr. Schmid and I don't know his colleague. They're just that they are here and also ready to talk to you. PCF Project in Germany have published results of the very practical work on carbon footprinting last year. You've been informed about that, and just to inform you now, the issue of how to really approach consumers and other supply chain partners in the issue of promoting low carbon consumption is an important matter. We still have open issues in communication, and here also it's important now to really find practical next steps and see what are our best practices in really addressing, from a company point of view, greenhouse gas emissions in consumption. Carbon Disclosure Project has been mentioned, the report, and very quickly, because I'm running out of time, as I know, the update on Thailand. There essentially two different carbon labeling initiatives have been implemented, both somehow by the same organization. I just want to give you an idea how they differ, and just as background also for the discussions that you may have. There's on the one hand the Thai carbon footprint label and the Thai carbon reduction label. Both, or like mostly the footprinting work, had some pilot studies also going on, and the rationale for the whole scheme is similar to what we know from other countries. Maybe also the export rationale feeding in for some of the Asian countries. I think we will hear more about that, but Thailand, of course, is very aware of their export to European countries and others, so to also help exporters work on greenhouse gas emissions. The Thailand Greenhouse Gas Management Organization is involved in both, and for the Thai carbon footprint label, a committee has been set up to agree on common methodologies, and they are referring to a lot of the documents that we are anyway discussing with the other standards, and apply them to the circumstances there. And the purpose is labeling of, or like the instrument is labeling of products with gram figures in some sense, as you have seen on the slide up there. And the also here. So a lot of products are currently being analyzed under this scheme. Here's like a picturation of the products assessed. I don't want to mention them all, but I want to go on to the Thai carbon reduction label, which is actually not a carbon label in the sense that we know of, but a scheme where you look at companies gate to gate, so really within their own limits of company, with also some criteria being set, so that we can say, okay, these companies are working on reducing their emissions, and then they can receive this carbon reduction label. So it's a bit different concept than what we're seeing, or totally different than what we're seeing with the Carbon Trust, but it like semantically, of course, fits in. So there are also some pioneering products on that. Two very quick announcements, and then I give the floor back to all the others. One, like these are two announcements from the PCF World Forum, like what we intend to do. One is that we have seen, and I think the product exhibition is like an example of that, but also there's more out there. We are discussing a lot about what is happening, a lot of the footprinting work being undertaken worldwide, a lot of the products being assessed and are somehow available out there to kind of refine our understanding and idea of how we should work out and use carbon footprinting for reducing greenhouse gas emissions. And it's quite difficult, even for some of us that are very actively involved and talking to a lot of people, to keep track of actually the extent of activities in carbon footprinting taking place. So we decided to launch a case study directory to more easily access the footprinting work that has been done or is been done around the world, and to give like an easy entry point to finding studies in different countries, and then also referring to the original reports wherever they, and in the different initiatives where they have been done, so that you like more easily can find the information out there. A second is that we've been approached a lot by, on the one hand, software providers, and also on the other hand, a lot of companies asking, well, which software should I use, and have therefore also decided to create a small exhibition event around the issue of software solutions to product carbon footprinting, very dedicated to this issue. It goes beyond what we are discussing here, so we thought it makes sense to have a more dedicated forum to really work out what are software solutions to product carbon footprinting out there. Again, a lot of solution providers with existing solutions from the LCA scene, but also new ones emerging, ERP systems that more take another view on carbon management, and at the same time a lot of companies looking for that. So this IT Expo, as we call it, will take place later this year. We have originally announced it for June, had some discussions with those that will be there, and have decided to move it a bit back to allow for a good frame and good, let's say, gathering of the interested stakeholders. And one element of that will, of course, be linking the ability of these software tools to what we are discussing here in terms of standardization and initiatives around the world, which we believe is quite important. So this is my very basic and quick overview of kind of what we're expecting, but also what is happening outside of the very frame that we are here in today. And I'm wishing all of us together very fruitful discussions, stimulating dialogues, networking in the sense of really coming up with good ideas to tackling the issue of climate change that we have to remind us always back to, and we need success to move forward on that. Thank you.